Okay, welcome everyone to my channel. I am Afif. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Sorry. Today I am going to be starting a new YouTube series, which is I'm going to build a page builder with Tailwind using Vue 3 and also Vite. And so for those of you who don't know what is Tailwind, what is Vue, so Vue is a front-end framework that you use to build, like a interactive user interface, I guess. Right, so like you can use it to build like simple stuff, but I think it's an overkill. But if it's requiring something that requires a lot of user interactions, like complex user interaction, then I think Vue is a very good choice. Of course, other than this, you can also use React or Svelte or like a gazillion other JavaScript frameworks out there. So Vite is kind of like a build pipeline for your project. So it's new, it's shiny, it's fast, and fast is probably the biggest reason why I'm using it. And then Tailwind is just something I use for my CSS stuff. So Tailwind is kind of a controversial piece of software, and primarily because some people don't actually see the benefits in it. Like like the layer, the abstraction layer in which Tailwind provides is very, very thin. Like there are stuff so for example, before that, Tailwind CSS is a utility first CSS framework. So basically it just gives you that very thin layer of abstraction that I was talking before. So for example, like if you want to do display flags, for example, in CSS, you would just use a class name called flags, which literally apply display flags to your style. And some people will argue, like, why not just write display flags, declare it in some of your CSS file? And that's a common argument against it. And it's hard to say, but I was well versed with CSS before I started using Tailwind, and it took me a while to actually get myself used to using Tailwind. But I think the biggest struggle for me to switching to Tailwind was to actually reset all my learnings basically. So I've already used CSS, I know how to do flags, I just do display flags, right? But then with Tailwind, you kind of have to refer back to the documentation, like what if you want to use display flags, what class name should you use, something like that. So it takes a while for you to kind of memorize all this, get used to it, like get used to the common class names that you always use. But then I think the benefits to it is basically you don't have to kind of make decisions on like the nitty-gritty details of everything. Like for example, if you're writing your own CSS by yourself, like for example, how do you decide line height value, or how do you decide the size of h1 compared to h2 and then h3 and then h4 and then h6, h5 and h6, right? But with Tailwind, you don't have to care about all that. You just use the helper classes. So if you use font large, font X large, so it helps you in making all these like smaller decisions and still providing you with enough flexibility to kind of do stuff. Like you're not gonna end up like with a very strict or a very specific use case. So for example, like I don't know Bootstrap 5, but I think Bootstrap 4, Bootstrap 3, they kind of provide you with components, and you kind of have to be okay with that. And if you don't want to use that style, you kind of have to override a lot of stuff, and that's gonna be ugly. I've worked with that. But Tailwind kind of provides you a very, very low level kind of abstraction, so it still allows you to build a lot of customizations and still make the style sheets your own, while at the same time help you with some smaller stuff, right? You can still go back to CSS and you can actually write CSS while using Tailwind. You can coexist. Yeah, so enough rambling about Tailwind. Let's just get started with it. So this is not going to be a tutorial style. I will just ram through everything, and so you're gonna see me get stuck with the problem, and you're gonna see me googling, and you're gonna see me everything. So primarily I'm doing it like this because I'm lazy at video editing. So it's not gonna be like, you know, I'm not gonna cut off like the parts where I screwed up and stuff, because I'm lazy. And yeah, so but of course, if you want me to cover anything specific to what I'm building, just put it in the comment section. I'll consider creating a video on just that topic. So for example, like you want to talk about Vue, I don't know, Vue component or something like that, just ping me in the comments, and I'll probably consider doing an episode on that. Right, okay, so enough talking. Let's get to the good stuff. Right, so I'm gonna be using Vite for this one. So Vite. So yeah, so this is like a build pipeline, same creator. This is also created by Even You, which is also the creator of Vue. Right, so let's initiate a project, a Vite project. Okay, so we're just gonna do yarn create Vite. I always mistaken the pronunciation as Vite, because you know, you see the word, the spelling of the word, it seems like it's Vite, but it's actually French, so it's actually Vite. Okay, so I'm just gonna say Tailwind page builder Vue. So we're gonna use Vue type. Are we going to use TypeScript? Yeah, I think just go with TypeScript. Okay, so I'm gonna go inside the project. I'm gonna make all my windows here go into this as well. Sorry, panes. This is Tmux panes, right? Okay. Right, so I'm gonna do yarn install to install all the packages. Just monitoring my CPU temperature here. It gets crazy when it's streaming, so yeah. I'm also gonna initialize a Git repository. So yeah, so we have this. So if we do yarn dev, of course we're gonna see, go to localhost 3000, we're gonna get the default counter here. Yep, nothing fancy, just a basic Vue app. Okay, so I'm gonna swap in here, gonna put it on this side. I think this is number 4. Okay, so I'm gonna commit this. What is the command again? Oh, git add and git command initial commit. Okay. Just gonna take a look at the package JSON for a while. Right. Okay. Nothing fancy. I think we can get started with the Tailwind setup. Vite. Okay, so we need to install these packages. Yarn add dev. Okay, all these 3 packages, and then we're gonna have to run this. Yarn Tailwind CSS init. So this is going to give us 2 files, which is the Tailwind config and also post CSS config. So we're gonna have to configure Tailwind to remove the unused style in production. But I think we can delay this to later. I think. But you know, while we're at it, let's just do it. Okay, so I don't know why it's taking a while to open the. Okay, so we just have that, and include Tailwind in your CSS. Create the source index file. and use the directive. Do we already have index.css? I don't think so. So right, so I think we're gonna have to create it. So I'm gonna create it inside assets. I don't know if that's the right place to do it, but I mean, whatever. Okay, so we have to copy this 3 lines, paste it here. Right, is that correct? Okay. And then we're gonna have to import this file from main, I think. Oops. Okay, so I'm not using, right, I'm using assets index. Okay, so if we go back to localhost 3000, I don't think we need all this like code sample stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we don't need this. We don't need the components. We're gonna remove this, and we're also gonna remove the image. We don't need that. What I want to try is a div class. So we're gonna try background red 100. Okay, I'm just gonna put my name there. So we should be seeing I don't think it's loading, so I'm gonna restart the. Okay, so I hope this time it works. Still loading. Okay, so I think it's loading Tailwind correctly now. So you can see that there's a very subtle background color there. You can make it a bit more not subtle. Oops. Okay, so yeah, you can see that, right? So if we put like text red 100, so this is gonna change that background color. Sorry, the text color. Okay, so we have something here. I'm gonna commit this. Initialize Tailwind. Okay, right. So we're gonna create a page builder with Tailwind. So the first thing that we need to do is to kind of have like a, so this page builder, the backbone of it will be a very big JSON structure that has all the declarations of our components. So the first thing that we need to do is going to be so we kind of have to hard code this page structure in a very big JSON, and making sure that our components can have this nested JSON structure. It can consume this just nested JSON structure and then spit out, nested components out of it, like and then style it properly. Okay, so I'm gonna create a store. It's not really a store. Well, it is a store, but it's not gonna be using like some kind of Vue X or something like that. I'm just gonna use a plain, yeah, just use ref. So I'm gonna import ref from Vue. I'm gonna have states. So this will be a ref. Okay, so it's gonna start with an empty JSON. No, it's not gonna start with an empty JSON. We're gonna hard code it to like some kind of page structure. But then I'm gonna export this. I think I can just export constant state here. Okay, so we're gonna hard code some stuff. So let's say let's try and render a container with two text elements. Okay, so we're just gonna have okay, so how are we gonna do this? So each component have to have an ID, right? Okay, so this ID will be generated, but for this one I'm just gonna hard code it to text component ID. So it's gonna be of type text, and then it's gonna have props of I don't know what else. So let's give it a color red, 400, and let's give it a margin. No, I think color is enough. This is just to demonstrate that we can render this multiple component stuff. Okay, so we're gonna have a root component as well. So it's not gonna have any props, but it's going to have children, and we're gonna pass this ID here. So let's give it a name as well. Sorry, a number. So this is gonna be unique. So we're gonna copy this and gonna do text component ID 2, and we're gonna copy this as well, and right, so this is also gonna be a text, and this is gonna have green 400. Okay. Am I closing this correctly? Okay. Yep. We can have something else that so I'm gonna add a new block component. So block 1, let's give it a margin. So this is going to be of type block. We can always change the block names. I mean, sorry, the component names later. But so yeah, so just for a start, we're just gonna give it like a name that we can remember. So this is not gonna have a block color. We're just gonna have a margin bottom of 2, maybe 4. Okay, just make it easier to see. Okay, so this is going to be containing this text component 1. So here, instead of containing text component ID 1, it's going to contain block 1. So I hope you can understand this. So we have a root component that have 2 children. These children have 1 children, which is the text component, and it also so the root also has this second text component directly under it. Okay, so this is going to be a nested block, and then text, and then this is going to be directly a text component. Okay, so sorry. Okay, so we have this. So we're gonna go back to our app, and we're gonna start a new component. So it's just gonna be a page builder component, and so this page builder component, page builder.view, so there's gonna be template, it's gonna be script. Okay, so we're gonna be export. So this is gonna be lang ts. I can't remember what's the 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 syntax for each components. So I think I need this. Okay, so we don't need ref. We are going to import the state from store. Sorry, I think the path is /store/index. And then we don't need all this. We do need props though. So this is going to be, okay, so how are we going to do this? So it has to have an entry point, which is the root component. And okay, so let's return that first. Okay, so we're gonna get the state from the index, and we're just gonna return the state here. Okay. Right, so we don't need all this. We just gonna say we're gonna print the state here. Okay, and of course we need to import that state from, wait, where am I? Oh, we don't need hello world. Okay, sorry about that. So I imported state. So here I need to just do pre, and then I'm just gonna print the state here. Okay, I don't know why my syntax highlighting is not working. I thought it was working fine just now. Yeah, I don't know. I think if I open it again, it's gonna be fine. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Okay, so let's see what we get. Nope. Nothing. I think we didn't wire something up here. Okay, so yeah, so we need to import this page builder. This is going to be from components/page builder. I don't know why it's not returning any error. I thought it's supposed to say something if it's right. Failed to resolve page builder at app. But we did. Yeah, so we did export. Define component, setup, return state. State is used here. Index. I don't know why switching files is very slow here. It's usually not the case. Maybe it's because I'm streaming. I don't know. So app.view. So it's going to import from components and then page builder. Right, I need to declare this. Sorry. There's an error here. Failed to resolve import. Does the file actually exist? Do I need to put .view? Okay, that's better. A different error message is actually progress, I think. I mean, that's how I treat a new error message. Okay. So we resolved everything and we should be seeing our state. Right. Yep. Did we not remove? Right, I think we did not remove the background color. But at least we actually get this JSON structure here. So what we need to do next is yeah, man. So you see, this is actually right. So if we have a component, so page builder component. So what we want to do, okay, let's start one by one. So what this is going to translate as is that we're gonna have a root component here, and this is going to wrap a block component where we're gonna pass the we're gonna pass some props here, right? So we're gonna have props to be this props, right? And then inside this block, what we're gonna have is another text component. And we're gonna pass that kind of props into this text components. Okay, so how do we do this? Definitely some. So okay, so let's have the text component first. Okay, so this text component.view so we're gonna have template plus script, and this template will be, we're just gonna use p tag. I know the text component can be either span or p, but we're gonna deal with that later. So, and this is going to accept what kind of prop again? So it's gonna, it should have a text prop. So this is a text. A text component should have a content. Is it text or is it content? I think text is fine. So text. This is text 2. Okay, so this is text 1. So a text component will just I don't know what happened. I think I wrongly pressed something here. I'm gonna go back to text component.view. Come on, load. Please load. Okay. What the heck is this? I don't know what happened. The file seems to have changed something. I must have pressed something wrong here. Okay, so template. So a text component can accept. So I'm just gonna do import. What was it again? Oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this. Okay, so we don't need state. We do need to declare some props here. I don't know how to declare props with TypeScript. Vue TypeScript. TypeScript support. Okay. Use with options API. Nope. Annotating props. Sorry. It's 1:27 a.m. now, so I'm a little bit sleepy. So I'm not sure if we can actually get through this. I hope so. Maybe I should just not use TypeScript. Just make it faster a little bit. But yeah. It's okay. Okay, so we don't need state. This is a text component.view. Sorry, this is page builder. My bad. Okay, so this is the text component. So a text component will have a paragraph tag, and it's going to have, oh my god, it's going to have a text, right? And then its class is going to be something like, let me open my index.ts again. Okay, so what kind of props do we have again? So a text component, I'm sorry about that, a text component will have what kind of props? Text and color. Okay, so we're gonna have text of type string, and then we're gonna have color of type string as well. Okay, so we're gonna say if color.length, we're gonna do text dash and then pass the color. If not, we're just gonna put nothing. Of course, this is going to expand as we add more complex logics, but right now this should work. Okay, yeah, so basically that's basically our text component. And next we're gonna have a block component. Obviously, once we have more complex definitions of components, you know, when we try to really follow Tailwind, this is going to be a lot more complex, and we might have to create a new component or something like that. I'm not sure, but right now we're just gonna start with this. The thing that we want to do right now is make sure that we can render nested Vue components given a JSON structure. Okay, so this is going to be a block component, and same thing, I'm gonna create template tag and a script tag, and I'm gonna copy this. We're stuck here, sorry. Oh, I think, wait, what is this? This is page builder. Okay. Let me refer back to the text component again. Oh, I forgot lang equals ts here. Oops. Okay, text color. Do I need to return these props? I think it should be there, right? I think so. Well, we will know later when we cannot see the text if it's not working. I'm not sure at this point. Okay, so this is going to be our block component, and our block component will have margin bottom. Okay, margin bottom string, and so the template would be, actually it can have children as well. So children array, so what's gonna happen here is that it's gonna have a div and we're gonna use slots, I think. Do we have to use slots? I think we have to do slots. But anyway, let's tackle the margin bottom first, because that's the easier one right now. Margin bottom dot length, the same thing. If there's something here, we're gonna do mb dash plus margin bottom. If not, it's gonna be an empty string. And how can we render children? Can we render children? I think we need a slot here. Okay. Let's just use the that one. Okay. Yep. I think that should do it. So we don't need a children array. We just need to figure out how to pass it as a prop later. Okay, so yeah, we have these two components of like how our block component and text component should look like. So we're gonna have, okay, so how should we do this? So inside our page builder, so this is kind of like the root component, and we have the state here. What we need to do is just to loop all the children. So we're gonna get state, sorry, how are we going to do this again? We're gonna do component is, and then so this is like a dynamic component in Vue. So you just declare it and then you give it it is prop. You pass in the element, the Vue component that you want to render based on the value that, so you're gonna have a switch, and this switch is going to determine what kind of Vue component that's going to be rendered. So you pass it as a prop to this special Vue component. So yeah, so I think we're gonna need some kind of a mapping that's that's gonna map this component to this Vue component. So this, like, so for example, if you have a text component, it's going to map it to the Vue component of that. I'm just gonna show you. So I'm just gonna say this is components mapping. Wait. Okay, so we're gonna have to return the root component here. State.root. So this is going to be the root component. We don't need this pre-tag anymore. And so we're gonna loop the children of this root component. So child, what is it called? Vue v4. This is a Vue 2, but I think that still works. Okay, so yeah, item in something. Child in root.children. So we're gonna have access to child.type now. So So we're gonna create this components mapping later. So I'm just gonna make it bigger for you a little bit. Okay, so let's make it a new line so that we don't have to, you know, scroll all the way to the side here. Okay, so we're gonna have the components mapping here given the child type, so it will select the right component. And for the props, we're just gonna vbind everything in the child.props, and that's it. So we're gonna create this components mapping. So we're just gonna do constant components mapping equals, so if it's a text, we're gonna use text component, and if it's a block, we're gonna use block component. Okay, and of course we have to import these two things. Text component, I'm gonna import this from where are we right now? Components. Okay, so this text component. Okay, so this is the text component, and this is the, sorry, it's actually not right. It's actually not exported individually. It's a default export. So this is also the same thing. This is going to be a block component. Add a space there, and of course this is going to be block component.view, and of course we have to register this here. Components, text component, and also block component. Okay, so if we go back, expected this but found setup. Okay, I forgot a comma. Yeah, that's what I like about Vite. That is, it's really fast. I think I still have an error in text component.view. So where is that? Since block component, this is text component, right? So it's here as well in the block component. I missed it when I copy paste it. Okay, so I'm gonna save that, and yep, it's no longer. So okay, page builder.view, there's something wrong. Page builder.view. Okay, so it's here, and it's saying that cannot read property children of undefined, and that's because so we imported state, and state has a root component, so I'm not sure why it's not able to. We're just gonna do a console log. This is going to be states. Okay, so we do have something here. I don't know how to check the stuff. I think we probably need a right, so it's probably that we didn't put value here. So let's see what console log says. Did I not? Okay. So let's do state.value. Yeah, so you can see that now we have Root cannot read property undefined of undefined. Okay. Did I not export components mapping? Oh, okay. So I did not export components mapping. Sorry about that. So we're gonna do components mapping. Format this a little bit better. Okay, so we don't need this console log anymore. So hopefully now it should be okay. It doesn't render. It doesn't actually render anything. So let's check. Actually, it does render something. So you see that. No. This is not. This is our. This is our. Where is it? I think we declared this in app.vue. So we have the red background from before. So let me remove that and see if it's okay. So you have this page builder which loads the state, and then you pass the state as a. So the root component doesn't need to be rendered. So you loop the child. Is components mapping child.type. Then you bind all the props. Okay, so maybe just have like a child here. So the thing is, it doesn't actually render the thing. I wonder if component can actually do v4. So maybe I try to do template v4. Copy this thing. Oops, forgot something here. Okay, so let's try that. Yep, seriously nothing. Okay. It's object. Okay, something wrong here. There's something wrong. Okay, so what is text component at this point? So this should be a view component. Child.type. So I'm just gonna print the diff here. So diff. I'm gonna print the child here. Yep. Wait. Oh, okay. So it's just getting the ID and not getting the block, the object. So what we actually want to do instead is what is the v4 view. So I know you can actually destructure the object. So v4 with an object. So value in object. Right, so you can actually do this. Just wrap it with a parenthesis. You can also provide a second argument for the property's name. Okay, so we're gonna get the value. So this, the child will be the value. Then we're gonna say child ID here. So yeah, we can use the ID to do something. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and we should be seeing something. Nope. Okay. I was actually expecting this to be the body of it now, but seems like it's not working. Wait, so this is text block. What am I printing? A child of the root.children. Okay, so of course it's not gonna Is it different in 3.x? Sorry about that. I should probably go to sleep soon. v4. You know what? v4 object. v4 with an object. Okay. So we're gonna go here. Value in object with it's going to iterate through the properties. Okay. You can also provide a second argument for the property's name. Okay, so if we have like this, my object. Did I put this correctly? So it's going to be root.children. Oh wait, so root.children is a string. What we should get instead, so root.children, this will be the child ID. So this is going to be the child ID. So what we're gonna get is actually, so if we get the state and then the child ID, now we should be getting the whole component. And then what we want to do next is get the type of that. So this state child ID type. ID will be child ID. vbind state child ID props. Okay, so I think this should work. No. Did I not save? I hope I'm just not saving. Okay, I think there's an error. Cannot read property block 1 of undefined. Why is state undefined? Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I should probably do this. State. Okay. Is it still complaining? Yes. Okay. Oh, we got something. Yeah, so you can see that now. So this text component ID 2 is actually being printed here. See? So if I actually remove, where's my cursor? Okay, it's here. So if I actually remove this div where we use it to just print something, you can see that we have one component printed. The other component is not printed. That is because we haven't nested. So we haven't handled the nested logic yet. Right, so what we're gonna have next is just wait. So we don't need this child. I don't know why this is here. So the child will be a component as well. So this is going to be component v4. This is going to be state child id dot children, and we're gonna repeat the same thing. So we're gonna have the child, but except this time, wait, yeah, so this is going to be the child nested id, nested child id. Okay, so in. Okay, so because the children is just an array of string, and then this string refers to the ID, so we're gonna get the nested child ID, and we're just gonna repeat the same thing. So the ID would be the child ID, and the vbind. Yeah, it's actually just the same thing. I wonder if we can actually, you know, do it something like a recursive kind of thing. Yeah, so I think it should refer this component back. So that's how. So if we do it this way, what we're gonna do is, what we're gonna get is actually just a 2 layers of nested JSON block. But we don't want that. We want this to be, you know, like forever nested. So we're gonna have to do something in the future to make sure that it's going to be handling nested children, but right now just gonna do it like this. Okay, so components mapping, same thing, except that now we're gonna get the nested child ID, and this is also gonna be the nested child ID, and then this also is gonna be the nested child ID. So now we should be seeing the wait a minute, element is missing end tag. Did it miss an end tag? Right, so this we're gonna have to, because this one corresponds to this one, and then this one corresponds to this one. Oh, sorry. Okay, right, so yeah, now you can see that we have this. Yeah, so it actually works. So if we actually add more blocks, so let's say we add a block here called block 2, I think I didn't, yeah, so okay, so we're gonna have another block. So this is going to be of type block, and we're gonna give it margin bottom 8, and the children would be text component ID 3. Okay, so we're gonna create the text component ID 3 now. And this is going to be having the same type of props. This is text ID number 3, and I'm gonna give it blue 400. Okay, I'm missing a comma here. Okay, so what? No, I think it should be fine. Block, so this block 1, block 2, text component ID 2. So block 2 has text ID 3, as its children. Oh, right, so I think we're missing this type here. Do we need to refresh? Yeah, so you can see that we have this rendered. So whatever JSON structure that we have, at least for now, 2 layers of a JSON structure, we can handle it. And you can see that this is already going to be providing a foundation for us to build even more complex nested structure. So if I rearrange this to here, and you can see that this is going to be here now. Oh, no. Does it not hot reload? Do I have to refresh? I have to refresh? I thought Vite will handle that for me. That is weird. But in any case, you can see that this now works. So the next episode, we're gonna just make sure that this handles nested component, and then that can be a foundation for us to build more components and wire up the drag and drop. So the drag and drop, what the drag and drop does is just going to be rearrange this JSON structure, and then our view component here, the page builder component here, will automatically capture that and just reload whenever the structure change. We're also going to create a sidebar where you can customize stuff. So right now I'm hard coding the Tailwind stuff here, but we don't want that. We want it to be customizable. So yeah, all of that is going to be on the next episode. All right, so we're gonna end here. It's already 2 a.m. I need to work tomorrow. And thank you for tuning in. If you would like to see the continuation of this, be sure to hit the subscribe button to be notified when I go live again. Again, I'm not gonna upload like a edited video, proper video. It's gonna be something raw like this, you know, like just go live. I don't have to do editing. You can learn something from this because I'm just googling stuff right in front of your eyes. But yeah, I mean, I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.